Hello all, welcome to another endgame study of the Solving Harder Studies to Improve Chess Calculation series. This is another composition from the German chess composer Jan Sprenger. This one, another of the ones that I like, because let me change here to show you the engine bar from the default the chess.com. As you can see over here, for it, it's a draw, but it's not. It's white to play and win. I always love positions where the engine can see it. Okay, it's not the strongest one, but nevertheless, it's an opportunity for us to be humans better than the engines, which nowadays it's not very common. Okay, let's go for the endgame study and for the solution. So, as always, I suggest you watch the guide. If you've already done that, you are already prepared for the practice. The main countdown of 10 minutes will start, and then I catch you up to start with the guided solution. And here we are. Okay, we are fighting for a win. We have three light pieces, so this becomes a bit hard when we see that. Okay, on the other side, that's an H pound threatening to promote, and so I think there are not many options on the starting position. We need to find that correct move is to go with Bishop C6 check. So this is a forcing move. Remember that forcing moves should or at least advisable to be checked, and so the king moves to the side and it's white to play again. Okay, another minute for you. Pause if you need more. This is more for the ones that haven't reached the conclusion that bishop c6 was the only possible way to go for a win from the starting position. So the countdown will start and then I catch you up. And let's go with the brilliant move. Knight e6 check. It is not checkmate, of course, because the pawn can take it, but we have already sacrificed one of our pieces in this already difficult one. So now we remain with two bishops. That's for sure. We need to keep them. Otherwise, we are not going to be able to win. And after that, we also still need to counter the promotion of the H spot. So it's white to move from here, and I don't need to pause it anymore. We just see basically that the idea, okay, the king is cut, we are in control. So if we reach to one of these dark squares with our bishop, so the idea is, okay, either I move the bishop to f4 or to e3, so to checkmate the king. And the best, of course, is to go with the bishop f4. But let's see what happens if we go with bishop e3, because this is also important to calculate. It's now another pause, another minute. It's black to play and to draw from here. And black needs to draw, going for the brilliant rook sacrifice. Double exclamation mark, forcing, of course, the bishop to take, otherwise, black gets the advantage very fast. So we are now all playing for a draw, of course. So the pawn promotes, so attacking our king. Here it's also another critical moment because we can't move the king. If we move the king, it will be a blunder. Black now is starting to play for a win with this check and then coming back with a queen. And it's just maneuvering, so the pawns can start to advance. The queen against two bishops is going to be impossible for white to defend. So after the promotion and the check. Instead of moving the king, we also need to find the protection with bishop c6. Of course, now black can bring the queen to b1, checking our king. But of course, we block it and check the enemy king again, which should be checkmate, but black, of course, sacrifice. And as you can see over here with only a bishop, it's a draw, so it's over. And this was if we went with bishop e3. Of course, the correct move, as we saw before, it's bishop f4. Now, black, of course, advance the pawn to e5, and final minute, pause if you need more, find how white can go from here to a win. And we still need to keep the things very precise, because we can't grab the pawn just like nothing is happening. From here we are already going only to fight for a draw, but that is because of course black will escape with the king. Next move, the king get out. Let's say we bring the bishop, the king get out, and so there is no more threatening mate in the next moves, and so we lose momentum and of course the win. So we need to find bishop e3. So the idea is we rebuild the threat of going for a checkmate. So now it's black to play. Of course, the correct move over here, we already saw the theme, is to sacrifice the rook, so rook b5. Now the bishop takes, and now the pawn promotes. Okay, this is another moment that we could pause, but I don't think it's needed. Of course, we are not going to protect with the bishop. We already saw that. So the queen is going to go with the b1, checking the king, forcing the protection, and then black can save the day with the draw. But here it's different, because with the going with the king to b8, there's no more check from h2. Notice that now black pawn is blocking that check, and the queen has no way to save the mate on b6. So there are no checks immediately for black to save this one. So the only possible way is to go with the pawn, with the idea, okay, let's escape with the king with the same thing we did before. But of course, there is no mate on b6, but on the other side, it's checkmate at the same. So a very fun endgame, a very fun endgame study from Jan Sprenger. Hope you also have enjoyed. And as always, I catch you up with future videos. Bye bye and keep checking.